What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. It is the 23rd day of December, and here we are sitting at about $87,000 with 9 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, we look at this on the 1 hour time frame. This is the hour that the stock market opens. We just opened up about 20 minutes ago for the stock market. And while we are dumping off, we are making a move as we typically do around the open of the stock market. We went up a little bit yesterday and we've come back down. Now we're coming lower. Maybe we do get to go below this low after all before actually sending it to higher prices. Wouldn't that be perfect? After all, it was once we got above this high, barely above that high, that we sold off. Might it be once we get barely below this low that we start to send back to the upside here? Looking at the 1 hour indicators, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. The RSI is showing bullish divergence. We do have bullish divergence on the RSI right now. We have bullish divergence on the stochastics and the MACD, all on the 1 hour time frame. That's a good look. What's not good is that we are building volume. We're picking up a little bit in volume as we're moving down. But in all fairness, we're not really moving down, are we? We're just kind of in the same area that we've been over the past like 10 hours now. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, I would say that the 1 hour time frame is giving us signs of a low / reversal kind of signal. I wouldn't be surprised if we did wick below this wick here, but then we came back up and closed above or something like that. 4 hour time frame, looking at this on the RSI, what's sad is we have rejected the overbought zone, as we have consistently really throughout the past few weeks now. Higher lows broke, higher highs, right? We had that and that broke out here. Now we're back at the 40, hopefully finding support here. That'd be nice. We already kind of tried, so we might go lower. We've been finding a lot of support, it looks like, around the oversold zone, whether it's just above or just below. We've been finding a lot of support around this area here, so going a little bit lower is nothing that I'm concerned with. And in fact, price action, again, that's just a little bit lower, just below this low, would put us in the same areas that we've been bouncing from on our 4 hour RSI for the past couple weeks now. If we're looking at this on the stochastics, we are oversold, completely reset. And the MACD actually looks promising here because yes, we've crossed red, but sometimes, oftentimes enough, whenever you cross above the zero, you will kind of consolidate and then you push higher afterwards. And we're right at the zero where it might make sense to start pushing higher, right? We kind of tried this last time. It just didn't last. Hopefully this time it's a little bit different. Second time's the charm. We'll see. That gets me excited that there will be a bounce at some point, either by the end of today or going into tomorrow. We should see some recovery. If I'm wrong, the MACD will continue to cross lower, and if that happens, well, we will probably go below this low here if that happens, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see. Low, relative low to the relative high. 382, 236.5. We came back. We're probably going to go to the golden ratio. Just below that wick. It's perfect. We go just below this wick. We hit everybody's stop losses. And we bounce right off the golden ratio. It's perfect. And we get a higher low. People will go max bearish. They will become very bearish because we take out that low. And we're really just at the best area to bounce, right? The market makers are getting a little bit more sophisticated. You can see it's still very mechanical. By it, I mean the price. The price is still very mechanical. But at least they got rid of the BARTs, right? The BARTs made it too obvious. Now it's like, it's a little bit less obvious, but still pretty obvious because they're clearly triggering stop losses, right? As soon as we got above this high, people went long, short orders got closed out, and that's when we dumped. As soon as we took out these lows, that's when we pumped with a very massive candle down. Yeah, they're playing people like a fiddle still, but at least they're not giving you as much of a textbook manipulative pattern to go off of as BART patterns. They're kind of still mechanical, still very wish-washy and volatile, very mechanical, not organic looking at all, but it's a little bit trickier here. It wouldn't just make total sense in this tricky environment that we go down just below that low, right to the golden ratio to find support. We trigger a bunch of stop losses there just like we did up here. I think it's perfect. So something around 86.8 to 86.3K. I doubt we go lower. If we go lower, I mean, it's possible that 83 to 81K would be our target if we were to go lower than that. But I don't know if that's something that we're going to do, but that's a target if we do go lower, in case anybody wants to know. Daily time frame here, looking at this, I'm really excited, and I want to go over the daily time frame here if anybody's still around. I know a lot of people, they kind of check in and check out after like 5 minutes of these videos, but I feel like that's the average view duration. But if you're still here watching this is where I think you're gonna really get excited with me about the days to come, the weeks to come in the markets, right? The MACD, you had a false cross to the downside. Now we're looking to build some bullish momentum. Okay, today 9 hours and 4 minutes left. A lot can happen by the end of the day. If we can come back up and close the day green and get this to continue to build momentum, that would be really, really nice. Stochastics would be bouncing off the oversold zone, and the RSI would be bouncing off the 40. We've definitely got some bullish setups here if we can close today green. That's asking a bit much because we are down 2% right now, and there's 9 hours left in this day, but I think Bitcoin can do it. I definitely believe that we could be finding our low as early as this candle right here. Look at that. We've already gone just below this wick here. We're there. We're right at our bounce territory. So I'm not even kidding. By the end of today, we could really be closing the day green. Absolutely, we could from here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did that in a very short amount of time. But on the daily time frame here, looking at the RSI, every single time that we've bounced here, let's just go back. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the bull market, okay? So November 2022, that was the end of the bear market, beginning of the bull market right here, right? March, that's a moment. We didn't quite get down to this line. We're not going to count it. We got down to this line here. We got down to this line here. This, I would say, is all part of the same consolidation, in case it's not obvious. Right, we're here, this is clearly a different phase, and then here what we're doing now. Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 times that we've been here since really since the beginning of the bull market. Maybe we can include this one too. And then we look at this, and right, these green lines, they correlate with a time where the RSI first interacted with this level here, the same level that we bounced off of on our daily RSI on the 21st of November this year. We look at this here, the very first iteration that we have dating back to November 2022. What did the price action do? What did we do? We moved sideways, and we were choppy and sideways. We saw a slightly lower low, but we were just basically choppy and sideways, and then very boring for about 53 days. Then we started to consistently move up. It wasn't obvious that we were breaking out, that we were moving up until probably the 63rd day, 2 months. But really, we stopped messing around and we started getting bullish after 53 days. So almost 2 months before we started getting bullish again. 60 days, 2 months exactly before we actually broke out. 53 days there. 53 to 60 days. Here, whenever we started getting bullish again, I mean, you could say it was here after 25 days we found our low. But we didn't really start getting bullish again, I would say, until probably about 60 days, 30. So two months later, then we started to really get bullish again. But just about a month, that's whenever we found our low. We were still messing around, moving sideways, but productive a little bit more after that first month, right? The next phase here, our RSI, I think I have it on the wrong, it's probably not exactly specific, like perfect. It's like right here, whatever. There we go, right there. We didn't really get bullish until about 74 days this time. We found our low after about a month and a half, but we didn't really start getting bullish until 74. That's when the next move like really began up, right? I would say it began here. We really took off here, and that's when we were like formally breaking out, but the move began back here, I would say. Not at this low, but back here. Although that's for debate. Maybe the move did start at that low, right? But that was definitely a long stint there. We look at this one, and I don't think I'm on it perfectly. Let's just see. A little bit, just off by 1. There we go. And here we found our low after 40 days, again, about a month and a half, and then we got bullish shortly thereafter, about 42 days. So just under 2 months. Whether it was about 2 months or just under 2 months, still about like a month and a half, that seems to be the time frame that we've been typically given before we actually start to see some bullish results. Here we are now with our RSI finding this same low, right? And I'm off by a day here, so I'll just measure it. I won't move the line, I'll just move it here. We have been consolidating now for 32 days. 32 days. All the way back on the 21st, we said we would probably close the year out more or less exactly where we were here. That was the call. I thought in that time that we would have moved up here, and then this time we'd be moving back down here. I thought that's kind of the look that we'd be going for. A nice channel up, and then we break out and we'd be down here. But tomato, tomato, however it works, we still ended up right around the same area. And that wasn't a hard call to make because that's what we've done this whole cycle, right? And that's cool, that's fun, that's a nice parlor trick, but the real cool part is that it's been 32 days. I mean, by the time it's 60 days, guys, that'll be the 20th of January. We have less than a month. We very, very, very likely have less than a month to either provide a lower low or consolidate, right? And we can provide a lower low, but even if we do provide a lower low, we're not going to go dramatically lower, right? Understand here right now, guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we do go below this low, we are not plummeting to the floor. If we go below this low, we'd actually be finding our low right around the same time that most of these consolidation phases have found their lows, because a lot of them found their lows after the 40th day. We're on the 32nd day now, so we could drop from here another 10 to 13 days and find a lower low, and that would actually be on par with what we've seen throughout this whole cycle. We don't have to see a lower low. I'm just saying we could in this time, and it would still be fine, right? And then shortly thereafter, going into the 50th to the 60th day, sometime in the middle to the later part of January, that's when Bitcoin should be breaking out. Now, a lot of these times we get to the 60 to the 70, the 60-day mark and beyond. This is at the point where they're breaking out, of their consolidation phases, where this price action typically breaks. But before then, we typically have some nice growth going into it as well, right? We typically do find our low and start to grow before then. So I would think by the middle of January, we're really starting to see some life come back into Bitcoin and into the crypto markets, but it won't be before then, right? That the latter part of January, probably the very last week, if not potentially even February, could be the time of which Bitcoin is starting to break out voluptuously, and we're commencing this next move that will take us to new all-time highs. We will see new all-time highs either in February or March of 2026. That's the real exciting thing that I wanted to go over here. So I've got nothing else to really say. I think I've said everything I need to say. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious on that note. Is there, let's just see, Bitcoin, are there any Bitcoin poly markets that are predicting or forecasting when Bitcoin will hit new all-time highs? Let's see. No, it's all by the end of this year. It's all more relative. What price will Bitcoin hit before 2027? Okay. Hey, here we go. This one might be a good one too. I don't know. Any of them that I know, there's one on Kalshi where they or Kalshi, however you pronounce it, where you can bet on Bitcoin being above 130K or 150K by March, or by the end of March. I've taken that one. I'm very confident that that's going to hit. I forget if it's 130 or 150K though. Let's see. What will Bitcoin price hit before 2027? Yeah, look at these odds. I mean, to hit 160K before 2027 is 20%. You can get 200K for 13%. Some of these are longer term, but still decent plays, right? Imagine you're investing in Bitcoin and you believe, like I do, that we will see 150K before 2027. Well, from here, 150K is about a 100% move, right? It's a little bit less than a 100% move. Where on Poly Market, you could make that same bet that it's going to go to 150K before 2027, but instead you'd be making a 3x, or no, would it be a 4x? 2x, 3x, it would be a 4x. You'd be making a 4x return. I don't know, just a thought there. And there's probably other markets too that might be better suited for this. But anyways, just thinking out loud there. I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. The amount of time that we've spent in this pattern at this point, we are past the point of the halfway point. We are in the realm, the range, the time frame where we could start to move up higher, or we could start to break out. But I would think that we don't do that now. We probably do that sometime in mid to late January. So we'll be consolidating here, probably not doing anything too exciting until then. Every dump will get pumped into, every pump will get dumped into until January 10th or later. With that being said, the call that we've had for a long time to go up here, maybe we'll just put that on the back shelf. Because back here, whenever we were calling for that, we didn't know what our range was. Okay, we didn't have our range. It was the first week. Now it's been over a month. We have our range. It's very identifiable. It's absolutely, it's certifiable. It looks the exact same as it did back here. We didn't go too much outside of this, right? We might come back up. We might even see higher highs. We might come back down. We might see lower lows, but we're not going to go too much outside of where we are now. It's going to be very boring. Prepare for very range-bound price action. And in fact, on that note, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but with that, you can kind of make plays off of that. Here, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're in no man's land, so we could just as much move up here as we could move down here, right? There's just as much to gain as there is to lose. But if over the next week or over the coming days we do make a move that's up here, well, you can safely go short and assume that we will come back down. If over the coming days we go down, we don't get a Santa Claus rally, we get a Santa Claus dump, well, you can rest assured and know that we're going to come back up and go long, right? Either way, we're probably not going to get too far away from where we are here by the end of this year. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.